Hello and welcome to Tabletop Odyssey. My name is Jay, and for the very astute of you will have noticed I'm in a different room, and that's just because I wanted to get away from my desk. I am sat near a window, so it is really bright, so do forgive me if that's the case. But I want to talk about X-Wing and the hype for X-Wing 2.0. Now, I'm very much looking forward to it, but I'm in a bit of a position right now where I can't really do anything. I don't have access to the core set. My internet's not very good, so I can't really play it online either. I've got some ships, but I obviously need the conversion kits and we need the rules to come. Well, the rules are out, but I need people to start playing the game. So at the minute, my hype's like, I need to wait for the release. But I think there's been a trickle of information when it comes to X-Wing 2.0. Obviously, we had the announcement either late April or early May, I can't 100% remember, which at the time I did complain about being a little bit too close to Legion. And I still sort of stand by that, because did we really need 3 or 4 months of hype for X-Wing 2.0? I'm not so sure. I think it would have been successful anyway. And I just feel like they were sort of curtailing Legion's reign, basically. Reign's a little bit of a weird word. But because people have had the stuff so early, like, you know, if you've gone to Gen Con or even at the FFG Nationals the other week, you could basically buy the course. Well, you couldn't buy the course at FFG Nationals UK, but you could. There's people who've got access to them, and they've had access to them for a month or two, maybe even longer. And because of that, like, YouTube channels don't feel like there's a. I mean, the big YouTube channels like Beast of War, at this stage, they're not necessarily ramping up the hype for it. I think it's going to be successful regardless. But it's just curious, I think, that the big YouTube channels, there's not really like a hype machine like this generally is, because all that really needs to come out from a lot of people is the app, and not even that, because the points have actually been like in beta. So there's not really anything new for a lot of people. There is still, for me, I'm still waiting, twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the whole shebang. But a lot of people have sort of just been proxying and playing anyway. And I just think, does this bode well for the game? The answer is, it probably doesn't matter. Like, the game's going to be successful regardless, I think. It's going to bring in a lot of old players who used to play. It's going to bring in new players because it's easier to play. Blah, 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 blah. The game's going to be successful. I just find it's just a bugbear that they did it so early. Like, if they would have announced the game in July for a September release, does anything really change? No, Legion gets a bit of a longer wait maybe before everybody starts concentrating on X-Wing, and that's probably about it. That to me would have been slightly more preferable, but that's, you know, obviously just my opinion. And I'm just curious right now, like, what are your thoughts on X-Wing? Are you just patiently waiting for, you know, the release on, I think it's the 13th of September? Could be the 15th. I think it's the 13th though. Next Thursday, I think. So it's just over a week. And are you noticing maybe a lack of a hype train? Now, I love me a good hype train. Don't get me wrong. I love a good hype train, and I'm not against a hype train. If anything, I think hype trains are good. It just sort of feels like X-Wing doesn't really have a proper one. And now it's obviously a bit weaker. It's the second edition, not a new release. So in that sense, I can understand that. But yeah, it definitely feels like there's a limited hype train. Now, I am a week and a bit out here, so perhaps we're going to ramp it up. But what I think the only way they can do this is we're going to be with new announcements, probably next week or early next week, just before the game gets dropped. They'll come out and be like, here's a preview of the clone ships are coming, or here's a preview. Probably the most likely thing will be the two, the First Order and whatever, the Republic or whatever, the Rebels or whatever they're called. They'll probably get new ships, or at least have like an announcement of the conversion kits and stuff like that, just to try and build up the hype again. But yeah, it's just a perception from me at the minute is that it's all sort of like kill team, and then even like Legion in my mind's doing like quite well. Was X-Wing's hype is still up there because the game's super popular, but like marketing wise it feels a bit low, if that makes sense. I don't know if that even makes sense. So what's your thoughts? As I said, are you still hyped for it? Have you noticed what I'm noticing, that maybe the marketing on it's not like in your face, which makes sense because it's version 2, so maybe that's not going to happen. Who knows? Yeah, hopefully you don't mind me getting out of my little room, getting into the living room for this little chat. It's not really a major chat, is it? It's just me saying, like, I don't think the hype's all that hyped. It's not hyphy, which is obviously an important thing in the universe. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, do like and subscribe. Of course, as always, there'll probably be a Patreon thing here, but because I'm like sat near my window, I don't really know how it all works. I can't even see myself. Yeah, have a most beautiful day though, and goodbye.